Guess what, everybody? We are live. Let's see who's here already. We have Sadie Spincraft, Littlejohn Yarns. I love your video and your channel. Thank you. Stay safe. We're staying safe right now. All right. I don't know how many people are here because I don't see the numbers around on the screen like I usually do, but I'm just going to hop right into it. If you guys notice anything different right now, you might notice a second person is in the video chat. Today, we are going to be talking about yarn business and dyeing yarns. And today, I bring somebody that knows a little bit more about dyeing yarns myself. She is a multi-talented woman. She crochets, she knits, she dyes yarns. She loves Harry Potter. Her name is Barb from Whisper Crochet. Everybody, say hi
Hi.
to Barb. So, Barb, how you doing? Oh, Barb, everybody, she's from Holland.
Yeah,
I have international friends. So how's it going over in Holland right now? What time is it and what's your weather?
it's 8 p.m. right now, and it is dry and sunny for now.
For now?
We probably will have rain again later, but it's dry and sunny right now.
See, right now I'm in Pennsylvania. That's the northern part of the US. And it's about, I guess, 70 degrees today. Fahrenheit. It's absolutely beautiful. And of course, like usual, none of my kids are outside playing. It's 2 o'clock here, so the sun is shining. It's the best time. I know it's the Rona. They can't play with their other friends, but I have such a nice backyard and they don't want to
No,
go farther and be out in the sunshine. I'm like, get your vitamin D, children.
yeah, you would think so, but on the other hand, you can get why they're still scared to go outside.
No, I
They get like glimpses of the Rona and that it's dangerous, and they should stay inside and should stay home, and that they don't get that home is also your backyard.
Yeah, actually, I had trouble getting my kid outside the house before you can't see my wait. I got now my window small. Before the Rona came out, he's just such a video game kid. I promised myself when I was pregnant with him, I'm like, my kid will not be that video game kid, and
Good luck with that one.
it didn't work out. It didn't work out. Let me see who's in the comments right now. Oh, I
Yeah.
see Gigi, the Crochet Queen's here. She is always here as usual. Gigi, she has her own YouTube channel. So guys, click on her little thumbnail and go subscribe to her channel. Then come right back to visit us because we have an awesome conversation we're going to have about dyeing yarn and start your own crochet business. Who else is here? We got Shanita Brown. She says, hello, everyone, joining from Wichita. Oh, the screen jumped up. Wichita, Kansas. It's 1 o'clock here, and it is hot, hot. And I'll read one more. Maria, yay, the best part of my Saturday is here. Can't wait to learn. Hello from northern Minnesota. It's 1 o'clock here, and we're making masks like mad women here. Stay safe, ladies. Oh, Barbara, me and you, we talked about this before.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law, she's been making these crochet masks, and I've been helping her sell these. And she is crocheting like crazy. I don't know if Maria has the same problem, but we were running out of elastic here. Elastic was like so hard to find, and we couldn't find fabrics because there's a whole lot of other people using these fabrics, and all the stores are closed. And my poor mother-in-law, she's like running herself ragged trying to like make all these masks. But when you're having your own small business, it's feast or famine.
Yeah.
Mass right
It
now,
really is.
mass right now. But all right, we're gonna hop into you. Nobody wants to hear me talk. They was wondering about why are you this wonderful person here. So, like I said, you are a crocheter. Like, how long have you been crafting? What is your crafting story? Like, where did it start?
I've always been creative. I like little pieces of fabric, and I made Barbie doll clothing out of it, and with hand sewing.
Uh-huh.
My mom taught me how to sew pretty young. Um, I was maybe 12, 13.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. And then full, not little pieces, or I did that before, but like full outfits. I was maybe 12, 13 years old.
Uh-huh.
And I did costume making. I did, and I learned how to knit when I was 13 or 15, 13 or 14. around that age, I learned how to knit because they couldn't teach me because I'm left-handed.
Oh, I bet you have trouble following videos too because they're
I
backwards.
have to switch them.
Yeah.
I have to switch them around. So if I follow video, but they try to teach me left-handed, and I couldn't do it. I
Hmm.
couldn't do knitting left-handed. I couldn't do crochet. I couldn't do anything.
So you still
And
do it
then they found
right-handed.
out that I just need to learn how to do it right-handed, and it will be fine. But because I'm left-handed, I write with my left hand.
Yeah.
They found out quickly that that's pretty much the only thing I do left-handed. So, because I cut with the right hand, I hold the scissor with my right hand. I crochet right-handed. I knit like a right-handed. So they basically tried to teach me, but they taught me in the wrong way.
So
So
it
for
sounds
me,
like your life was pretty much like crafted. Like,
yeah.
was your mom this crafty person? Is she teaching you all these things?
My let's put it this way: my grandmother knew. Sorry, she is unfortunately passed away. But she knew how to make lace.
Uh-huh.
She knitted like with these teeny tiny little needles and like the thread the size of sewing thread, and
Wow.
she knitted that with beads and made like these medieval like pouches and everything. I was like, okay, I did not have the patience for that tiny stuff.
Yeah.
That was like, okay, this is way beyond my grade level. But my grandfather actually painted. My grandmother knitted. She crocheted. She made lace.
Hmm.
She sewed. My mom sews. She makes quilts. She crochets. She embroiders.
Wow.
My
So
sister embroiders as well, but that's the only crafty thing she does, I think.
when did you
And
start crocheting?
yeah, it's basically a family thing. It's
When did you learn how to crochet?
3 years ago. My friend taught me how to do it on Easter 3 years ago.
I know I still should my memory's talking about this before we went live. Do you
Hmm.
have any of your crochet items near you or anything that within reach?
Yeah.
I guys, okay, in the chat, I get amazed when people say they've only been crocheting 3 years or crocheting a year. Look at this work. Look at this. This is I can pronounce it now, everybody. Amigurumi. I'm a professional. I could never say it before.
Yeah, this is amigurumi. This is a okami from the Fantastic Beast. That's my own design. I
Uh-huh.
made that design. And the other one I have near me is my version of Baby Yoda.
That is gorgeous. See, like I told you, I have trouble with my hands and the detail. That is amazing. Wait, bring that Yoda back up. We didn't see him well enough.
So he has like a little robe you can pull open, and he has a onesie underneath.
Okay, so your friend taught you how to crochet 3 years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
Did you find it hard? Because I learned how to crochet first and then knit. So therefore, my first love is crochet. So knit, I didn't pick it up that well. Did you find it a hard transition from knitting to crocheting?
Not really. Because I haven't been knitting much at all anymore because I was like, takes too long.
Yeah.
Time couldn't do it anymore. I didn't have the patience or the time to invest in that. And crochet, I could easier put it aside, and not
Mhm.
like you put a stitch marker in the loop, put it aside. No worries, nothing's gonna happen to it.
Yeah.
Your knitting, however, I had like an entire scarf. I was maybe 80% done with it,
Yeah.
with all kinds of stitching, and it had cables going through it and everything. And I came downstairs, and my son didn't like it, and he had yanked the needles out. He was 3 at the time, so I couldn't blame him for it.
I was about to say, I'm like, get rid of them. Get rid of the baby.
I was like, "Oh."
Okay.
Everybody in the chat who has ever been in that situation probably knows that I have been swallowing a whole lot of language I couldn't speak out loud.
Yes. My favorite is when I walk away from the project and it's wrapped around my foot and I walk away from the project and a project unravels. Can't
That
stand it.
that doesn't happen that quickly with amigurumi because its stitching is so tight.
Hmm.
I have yanked it off the table so many times. You really don't want to know,
Yeah.
and it will just land on the floor and bounce behind me. So that's not a problem. The because amigurumi is tighter, so maybe you lose 2 to 3 stitches. So that's it. So
All
not
right.
that bad.
So, Miss Crafty Lady, when did you decide to say, maybe I can make this a business? Maybe I should try to start. How did that happen?
Because everybody was telling me to sell it.
Yeah.
I started with actually I started doing the crochet part like in Easter. That's when I learned the basics, and I immediately learned the basics of amigurumi. That's how I started.
Oh, wow.
Was crochet in the round. That's how I learned how to crochet. So that was like the first start of it. But I was doing my own designing by September. So maybe 4 to 5 months later.
Wow. I would say I was making blankets for the first 15 years.
That is something I don't have the patience for.
I can't.
Like I can do like baby blankets, fine. But that's about the size that I'm like done.
Yeah.
If it needs to be bigger than that, get me fabric, get me batting. I'll make a quilt or
Hmm.
a quilted like not like a fancy quilt, but like a quilt like blanket. That'll
Yeah.
make. But
Yeah.
I cannot sit with like a gigantic blanket, and no, that's not me.
And that's the worst when you're selling your items and somebody says, "Hey, I want a blanket. I'll give you 35 for it."
Not in
No.
35 years.
Exactly. So I like
No.
you, I like to keep it small. So
Yeah.
do you remember your first sale? What was it like? And how did it go? Go ahead.
The first, well, of the yarn of something I crocheted.
Anything, something
Uh,
you
the
ever sold. Ever
the
sold.
the first thing before I did crochet, I was already sewing, so that
Yeah.
was custom designs I did for fantasy fairs,
Hmm.
so fantasy festivals and stuff like that. So the first time I sold one of those, I was just jumping up around and like
Did you price it correctly
going
or did
nuts.
you undervalue yourself?
No, I didn't cry, but I was like came downstairs because I was in the attic because I it's not done right now
Yeah.
because it's packed right now and I cannot work during the day on clearing it out because that's
Yeah.
when my man is asleep. So yes, because he's night shifts. So hopefully, fingers crossed, the night shifts will be over sometime June, July,
Yeah.
and then I can go upstairs and clear it out and get my attic back. The first time I had a sale, my desktop computer was upstairs in the attic, so
Hmm.
I had the news on there and just came running down the stairs like two floors down. Ah!
Oh my goodness. Man, okay.
And that was a fairy coat, so a gigantic fish fairy coat. That was the first thing I sold.
So what are you selling right now? What is your income maker?
The yarn.
So how did that start?
Well, how did I start yarn dyeing, or
Yeah, how did
how
you
did I?
start yarn dyeing? What made you say? Because I've thought about yarn dyeing myself, and then I look at it. Everybody, this is some of the yarn that she has dyed, and I look at it. I know we have Google at the tip of our fingers, but I'm like, how in the world did you do this? It looks too complicated. I'm too scared. So I just put it aside. What made you get past something like my mindset into creating yarn? Dyeing
I have spent months watching videos on how to dye yarn, and what you need, different techniques, all that. Spent months watching it, and especially because you need to focus on what do you want to do. Do you want to do acid dyes? Do you want to use food coloring? What kind of yarn do you want to dye?
yarn?
Um, So that there's a whole lot of variables in there, and I figured out that will stick to the protein base. So that is the silks, the bamboo, um, wool, merino.
Yeah.
That's basically what I do. I do not do cotton. I
Hmm.
don't do cotton. I don't do acrylic. Because for cotton and acrylic, you need the acid dyes, and I don't want to use acid dyes.
You want to keep it as natural as possible.
Well, for one, I think it's like even if there's some trace of the paint or the dye in the yarn still,
Hmm.
it is still safe to use on for a baby
Yeah.
because it's just food coloring.
You
Nothing
need it.
that could harm anybody. So that is one thing, and there is so many safety precautions needed for acid dyes.
Yeah.
Because you need like a respirator mask, because it is so fine, the dye powder is so fine
You can
that
in
if you use like all the time, you're inhaling that dust, and that could do some serious damage on your lungs and everything. So no.
Oh, I see right in the comments. We see J Hook Crochet says, I have so much of her hand dyed yarn. It's amazing. Everybody, J Hook Crochet, she is one of our moderators, aka Reggie. That's another one with her own YouTube channel. Click off of here, go subscribe to her, then hurry right back so we can hop back into this chat. So
Yeah, J Hook has ordered for me a couple of times already.
she is like one of my favorite people. J
And I saw like I see a couple of other people in there that I
Say hi
recognize.
to them. If you recognize some people, you can say hi now that you're on the other end. You're on the camera now.
Yeah, that's something they are not used to. Like Lori, I see Lori in there. I see Scrappy in there. Sadie is there. Denisha, I saw Denisha like right quick, and Reggie. So yeah.
I think it's so crazy when I finally got to see your face.
There's Jenna. She's going to be receiving yarn from me Monday.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So I see a lot of them, but I cannot follow the chat and talk to you at the same time, so I just don't follow
Yeah,
the chat, because if I do, I'm like, mm-mm.
get lost inside of it.
Yeah. And because I see my mouth moving, like there's the delay in there, I'm like, no, that will totally weird me out. So no,
All
just
right.
no.
Before we get to like the yarn dyeing stuff, like
Hmm.
now you was telling me before our pre-chat, like you're getting a lot of sales all of a sudden. Like, how do you
Yeah.
promote yourself? How do you get people to find you?
Um. Well, right now, what you see also is happening is somebody like Reggie. She bought yarn of mine and
Mhm.
she promoted it on her YouTube channel.
Yeah.
There's another one, Kim's Crochet. She did a
Yeah.
review. So they're like all those reviews, and I put them on my Facebook page. The reviews, I
Mm-hmm.
linked them, and I've been promoting on Instagram. Like my Instagram basically exploded in the last year. So that is like insane because I went to 1,700 something followers.
How do you work Instagram? I mean, I know you have to grow Instagram, you got to be on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm so bad at it.
Where did you go? Oh, there you go. You turned black for the little sun.
Here I am. I'm still here. How do you what are you doing? Do you have what's your Instagram secret? Because I can't grow. My Instagram is only at 2,000 only because I have a YouTube.
Yeah.
Post on my Instagram maybe once every so many months. Or I'll go through spurts. What do you do?
Well, I follow a lot of crafters.
Uh-huh.
But like I didn't start following just everybody just to get followers, because that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Um and I am not like only business on there, because you find a picture of my son doing Lord knows what.
Yeah.
You'll find like the embroidery stuff on there. You'll see the hand dyeing on there. You'll see the amigurumi on there. It's like everything.
Mm-hmm.
I am not that strict on it, but apparently that is something they prefer. I think.
Yeah,
Because yeah, so I follow people, but I don't now, and right now I don't even have to search for them anymore. Basically, they come to me and I'll follow them back.
that's awesome. See, that doesn't
So
happen to me that much anymore. All right,
well,
let's.
you'll get more numbers though, because right now I saw that I'm following like the 4,000 people or something. I'm like,
Yeah.
at some point you must have followed me because I didn't start this.
You know what, baby? Some people just follow you so you can follow them, and then it'll unfollow later. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Follow to unfollow? But one of my friends, I mention her all the time. Her name is Crochet by Caroline's daughter. She
Hmm.
is so successful on Instagram. She's always getting like she's a crocheter though. She's always getting custom orders from Instagram. So I'm like, if Instagram is where you're making money, that's where you should put all your work. For me, Instagram doesn't make me much because I don't do custom orders because I couldn't handle it anymore. It was too much pressure sometimes doing all those custom orders. But now what makes me money now is YouTube. So that's where I pretty much stick to.
Yeah, but that's basically what you promote also right now. You
Mhm.
promote yourself on YouTube and you promote your YouTube on other platforms.
And know what? You're
I'm
right.
gonna turn a light on because there. Oh
Oh,
no,
wait,
that's way too
the
bad.
trick for the perfect lighting, the light should be in front of you facing this way.
Yeah, that the lamp doesn't reach that far.
Let's
But
get
I can do this and then yeah, there we go.
up. Let me
It's
just
a little bit better than it was, right? It's starting to turn dark over here, so the light, the sun just went down on the houses across the street. So
okay. Let me want to hop into the comment real quick because I usually hop in. Have I missed anything? Let me see. Get handmade hearts. She says for Instagram, follow normal people and not just craft people. If you're selling items, invite accounts on private because they will look at your account before they accept. Good point. Yeah, if you want to make sales, you shouldn't just friend. You're right. Good point. All craft people, because the people who are going to buy from you are the non-crafty people. They're the person that says, "I wish I knew how to knit or crochet for my niece that's about to have a daughter." So hey, they come to us because we're just so crafty. Let's see what else did I miss in the comments. Okay, probably nothing much. Okay, so we're going to talk about dyeing yarns. For right now, you are a yarn dyeing guru because I know pretty much absolutely nothing about dyeing yarns. I researched some stuff on YouTube and I was still like, okay, maybe I can do this, but I'm sure people rather hear from somebody who's actually done it. So, what kind of yarn itself, do I need to dye? Where should I start, or what are the supplies that I need to start?
just the supplies to start, any kind of dye. You have to decide for yourself. Do you want to start with cotton, acrylic, wool, a wool blend,
Mhm.
or anything like that? Because that depends on the yarn. Depends your dye. Like you can with wool. What I use wool and wool blends, mixed yarns basically. Those you can dye with food coloring, no problem. Cotton, um, cotton and acrylic yarns, or the cotton blend. Like you have the
Mhm.
cotton acrylic blend, cotton and acrylic.
Yeah,
You need to acidize for that one because
yeah,
it will not take with if you have it in the pan with acrylic yarn, it will have like the most beautiful colors. You rinse it once, it's back to basic. It's
really,
back.
it just won't
Yeah,
hold it
it will
without
just
that.
wash right out. It won't hold. It won't take the color from the food coloring, so it will wash right out.
Okay, so what did you say?
That's why you need to acidize for.
Okay, you probably said this, but one more time. Like, what is your most favorite yarn to dye with that picks up the color just perfectly out of all the ones
Um,
you used?
I would say the 100% merino.
Mm-hmm.
That will the dye you pour on is the color it will be. So not like it won't change. It will absorb the color really quick. So
Yeah.
it will work up really fast. But if I pour over a blue, it will be that blue and not warp or take forever to soak it up. Or
Yeah.
because like I can put three different types of yarn next to each other, use the same dye on it. The 100% merino will be the perfect color base.
Yeah.
As soon as you put nylon in there, so you get a sock yarn, that will take up the color, but it will still be slightly different than the 100% merino. If you put it on silk yarn, it will become a muted pastel.
Okay.
Silk will automatically become a pastel unless you use more coloring in there. You need to use way more food coloring, or the base at least. You need more dye to get a stronger color on the
Okay.
silks, but not on the merinos.
Got you. All right. That sounds all type of technical. Let's bring it back to the basics for me. Back to what do I need? If I'm going to start dyeing yarns, do I need expensive type of, do I need a certain type of pots? Do I need is this an expensive thing to start? That's always scary because when I start something new, I spend like $300 to start a project that's only,
You probably have everything you need to start with. If you're gonna do it with food coloring.
Okay, that's what I would do it with because
If you're gonna do it with food coloring, you do not need a yarn or dye dedicated pot or anything. You can just use a regular pot because you'll just do your dishes and it will be clean and it will be safe. So because you're gonna use water, vinegar, and food coloring. That's
that's
it.
it.
That's it.
Okay.
And so you can just use a pot, just a
Okay, you
simple
start with the
cooking
pot.
pot. Or I can show you in the folder I got.
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
just show
sure.
you.
Pull it up. Press that button. Guess what, guys? We're going to do something technical. Let's see if I press the right button. Okay.
There we go. Dye supplies.
Wait. Here we go. Add the stream. I did it, guys. There we go. So what are these?
So right here we just got the simple food measuring cups. Like you don't really need them, but if you want to dilute your base, so you basically made a color based with water, vinegar, and food coloring, but you want to make it like in shades of that color.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to dilute it, so that then maybe you need like the biggest measuring cup in there. I don't use it for the measuring. I use the big one to check if there's still coloring in the water.
Oh, I researched that. That's when the yarn absorbed all the color if the water is clear after it's soaked, right?
Yeah. So like you can see, it's tongs. Those are always handy to grab it out of the pan.
Yes.
Um, just a cooking pot will do. If you want to start, you can do a dip dye. You can do a kettle dye with just a simple cooking pot.
Mm-hmm.
Then a measuring cup. That's what I use to do to make the dyes with. So I mix the dyes in a measuring cup and then pour it in one of those sauce bottles.
Yeah.
If I do, because I have this tray as my pan right now, because it is huge.
Mm-hmm. And that's what
I,
you color it in, right?
that's what I use to dye in, and that's what to mix it. I'll use the simple spatulas. Just mix it into the what? Just because you're gonna pour 2 cups of the water with the dye in 3 cups of water, basically, to put the layer in the pan. That is for if you use this pan, the uh, the
Okay,
flat
that
one.
one. See it. See,
And if you put the yarn in there, and with 3 cups of water, and then you add in, or you're just gonna put in the dye first, and then put the yarn in there, so it will soak up in spots, like not completely um, smooth one color.
yeah.
It will become a bit more variegated with maybe some white in there still.
So that's how
That
that happens.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
it seems more complicated.
it seems a lot more complicated, but it isn't. And you need like one of these tubs So you can just with the tongs grab it out of the pan, put it in a tub, then let the water run till it's like hand warm, lukewarm,
Mm-hmm.
and then let it run over. Use some dish soap and to just rinse out the vinegar, the acid.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, and so you guys know why she's using vinegar. Like you said, they might not know that without that acid, the color wouldn't take to the yarn.
I'm just
Is that
gonna
right?
yeah. Here
Oh,
we
want me
go.
to say that? Okay.
No, like I said, I put with both acid dyes, like
Yes.
that one says it already. It needs acid,
Okay.
but food coloring also needs the acid because it's the same thing as buying a new shirt, like a brand new red shirt. The
Mm-hmm.
first time you wash it, you'll want to put some vinegar in there, just to make sure that the color stays in the
I
shirt,
didn't
not
know
on the
that.
rest.
Thank you. I didn't know that.
It's color setting. It helps with color setting. And the heat and the color basically the heat and the vinegar sets the color onto the yarn. That's it. It's
Okay.
not that it really isn't rocket science, but it sounds way more complicated than it is.
It does. So what type of, I see we're in looking at the food colorings. What are these that we're looking at right now?
So everybody knows the Wilton food coloring.
Mm-hmm.
This one that is a gel based food coloring. That is perfect for dyeing yarn. Really perfect. I got a similar but a more European brand.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Mine is actually this brand. So look at even look at the bottles. It's exactly the same stuff. And that is the gel-based version. And then you have the liquid ones that I think you guys have these over there.
Yeah, the little droplets.
Color right. So the one that yeah, it's like the little bottles, and it has the liquid version of food coloring in there. That also works.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just pressed the button and didn't know what I do. Jay, I can highlight people's comments. That's nifty. Okay, I'll read it while I'm at it. The cool thing about dyeing with food coloring is that you can do it with things you already have at home. Great
Yeah.
tip, Hook. And I didn't realize I can highlight somebody's comment. How do I get it off? Okay.
I I have no idea.
Okay. Cool trick from this
Um,
one. Continue.
and the last, so you have the liquid, you have the gels, and the last one that you can do the coolest effects with is I got this one. Actually, I have this exact one.
Okay, this
It
one.
is food coloring powder.
So you recommend this over gels?
It's long. No. You can use it alongside.
Okay.
It's not. I can actually show you what you can do. Because I was prepared. How about that?
Better than me sometimes.
You see the
Whoa.
little red specks in the yarn right there?
Yes.
That is that red powder food coloring. And the next to it is the yellow version of the same one.
Yeah.
So I have the yellow powder, I have the red powder, I have green, and I have orange. Right now, was the only ones they had over here. There are more colors.
Oh, guys, hold on. I got a delivery and I'm on my live. Uh-oh. It's for masks.
Oh, cool.
Oh, here they are. Here you go. Thank you, guys. Oh, oh. Sorry about that, guys. Oh,
Yeah, no worries.
okay, I made it
You can
back.
show us in a sec.
I hope you guys didn't see my leopard pants when I got up. Me and Barb were just talking about how we're business up top and party down below. I got leopard leggings on right now, but my neighbor went to come pick up their mask because my mother-in-law are making masks. So, oh. So Barb, what type
And
of pants are you wearing right now?
I'm wearing what's one Hogwarts.
Hogwarts and leopards.
Yep, that's us right now. And if you look at this dye pot, do you recognize the yarn in there?
Oh my, is that how it's? Look at that, guys. There it is. There it is right now.
That is yours. That is your yarn.
That is amazing. So Explain what's happening. Put that picture back up because I'm actually looking at that yarn. So you put the color on top of it, or this after it's getting cleaned. When is this? What?
No, this is actually I put like 2 cups of water in the pan.
Uh-huh.
So, and then you put soaking wet yarn, so because I leave the yarn to soak for 30 minutes, even longer,
Mm-hmm.
and in clean water, nothing
Yeah.
else, just water. And then I'll put it just next to each other, but try and move it a bit so that it's not tightly put together anymore.
Yeah.
And then I poured sky blue at the top, pink at the bottom, and purple in the middle.
And that's it.
And that I pour dye on and just press it down with the spatula on those areas so that it will absorb a little color from both sides.
Like a little gradient.
Yeah, you can make your own gradient basically.
Ah. This is going to be my next adventure. Let's take a peek at some of your yarns if you don't mind. If you don't mind.
Yeah, I don't mind.
It's like, since we can't get out, we can yarn shop while we're on the internet right now. Since I'm stuck in the house, you're going to be our gallery. Look at the things you've been making.
Which one do you want to see? Because right now you see a whole bunch of. Which ones do you want to see? Because I cannot see the chat right now, because then everybody sees the chat, because I'm sharing my screen.
Hold on. The chat, let's see. I know our chat is always behind, but I'm going to pick what we're going to look at. I want to see the yellow. I kind of see a yellow over. You can't see my screen. It's the third one in from the end. There it is. I see just bright yellow just popping out at me. That one.
Yes, that one.
Yes.
That is the thicker merino silk.
I need it up close, please. Up close, please. I've never worked with silk.
Is that better?
That is absolutely gorgeous. Like when you work with this material, what does it feel like worked up? Because like I said, I got all this cheap acrylic yarn sitting behind me over here. I finally got something nice.
No, I crocheted with the thinner merino silk.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not want to go back to cotton. I didn't want to go back to acrylic. I didn't want to no. I'm spoiled now.
How's the drape?
It's velvety soft. It's like buttery soft. I can grab like when we stop sharing this screen, I can grab one. You can see like fold it up.
Here we go. Wait, there we go. Look at us.
Here we are. This is the silk. It's like that. You can just squish it. It's not.
Yeah.
That is super soft and squishy. So it's really. See.
This is like
what's. But to touch, if you touch this, it's softer than velvet. Because velvet is rough on the way up, but soft on the way down. This is just soft both ways.
Like
doesn't matter. Yeah, and it does not leave like acrylic yarns do and cottons do. You have like these stripes on your finger, wrap the yarn around it.
Mm-hmm.
Not happening with this. Not at all. So that was like, neat ones.
Well, I might have to come shopping again over there. All right, let's see what's happening.
This one is made with the silk yarn. I'll just turn the camera towards it. There we go.
Oh,
this is made with silk. So it's super soft.
Okay, let's see what's going on in the comments. Jenna K says this is yarn porn.
Sorry.
Vicky wants to know, where do you get your silk yarn from?
I buy it in Germany. At a wholesale site. But there is a shop in England that also sells to not business people, so just the regular people. They have everything.
Yeah.
Every single thing. I got the link up.
Oh,
it is.
Here we go.
Are you sharing it again?
Yep, sharing.
There we go. It's called bluefaced.com or bluefaced.co.uk.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look over there, they have titanium sock yarn that is so soft. And with sparkle, with Lurex Sparkle, the BFL, which is I think one of Sadie's preferences to even spin with
Uh-huh.
BFL. And they got another platinum sock, all kinds of natural blue,
Okay.
uh, bright sock, shimmer fingering weight. So that is a shine in there as well.
That's beautiful. Oh, we have a question for you.
Yeah.
The Whisper and Stitcher says, do you dye acrylic?
Mm-mm. You, because that needs you need to use the acid dyes for that. For acrylic, and I don't want to work with acid dyes
Mm-hmm.
because, for one, I actually dye in my regular kitchen, and I don't want to have that in my kitchen.
You know, Vicky Smallwood says, thank you very much for this information. Know it, you're being a helpful person because we don't know anything about this stuff. And I understand how you're talking about you have to do this in your kitchen. A lot of us are normal, everyday people.
Yeah.
We don't have this extra room dedicated specifically for our crafts.
You.
Like, because I know my husband's going to be, oh, should I take this down? Are we back to,
Yeah, just take a.
there we go.
They should have been able to get the link, and otherwise, if anybody wants, I will share the link. That's not a problem.
Oh, another question. The Whispering Stitcher, can you point me in a direction? I'm allergic to wool. Well, I know I did a little looking up for if you're in the US or whatever. You can go to places like Knit Picks or Blueprint. I left those
Yeah.
down below. What are some of the places you recommended again?
For well, for if she wants
Non-wool.
to dye, acrylic, because she said she couldn't handle wool, so she would be stuck using acrylic or cotton.
Mm-hmm.
So Nitpicks would be the top of the list of recommendations for that. But if you just want to dye acrylic, you can just get any acrylic you want. Just any shop, any store. Grab 2 chairs, put
Yeah.
them side to side, wind that skein around it, and just make with little pieces of different yarn, like maybe a blue, and when you're dyeing a white, the dye of the blue won't seep into the white, so don't worry about that ever.
Oh, okay.
So you can just make little loops in there in a figure 8 form, so you can get that hank
Yeah.
and to dye with, and just dye a regular skein of white acrylic with an acid dye. I would, acid dye Jacquard is the best one in my opinion, but it is kind of expensive to buy like a big bottle for just trying to do it once.
Yeah.
You can get those rid dyes, like the stuff you use to maybe re-dye a T-shirt, or get one of those tie-dye kits or something like that. But with a acrylic type, for an acrylic type of yarn or acrylic type of shirt, and just use that just to try it, and then before you invest a whole lot of money into it.
Yeah.
'Cause I did it in a simple oven dish that I could put on my stove, and it was way too short for Henk.
Hello.
That is my son. Hold up, right, real quick.
Okay.
John, ik zit in een live momenteel, dus ik kan nou niet praten.
Let me see what's going on in the comments while she's there.
Okay. That's my 20-year-old.
You can always call when you're doing something. All right, we have.
Always. They always do that to me. So I just turn my phone, the sound way down. Done.
That's okay. All right, Hook Crochet. He says, I never understand why white colored yarn is more wiggly than dark yarn. What do you think about? I don't know. I've never dyed yarn. Do you find problems with light colored yarns or not yourself?
No,
All right. How
no.
about?
The color, the yarn that I get is like creamy
Mhm.
because it's wool, so it's the natural wool state. It's
Yeah.
the white wool state. They call it white, but it's not. It's cream colored.
Yeah.
Uh, until you cook it, or heat set the yarn with it. Because I have one here right now. I'm gonna try and turn the light a little bit more my way. Yay!
There you
There we go. Oh no, not that face.
go.
Woo, that was a bit much. But you see this, it will look like it is blue and white.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
It's not.
It's this is not dyed. So it's basically just this is what the yarn, but it is heated. So it fluffed up because it was washed, it was done. But that's the natural state of the yarn. Even though when you take it out of the bag, it will look cream colored.
Yeah.
And it's not.
All right. That comes to another point before you heat it. Helen just asked, can you change the colors if you don't like it?
Oh yeah, you can over dye. You can just like if I didn't like this and I wanted to add another color to it or make it dark, because you cannot just take this out. You
Yeah.
cannot go back to white for that unless you bleach it, and then you can basically toss this in the trash, which is kind of a shame. But if you like, I don't like this color, I want to change it, I want to make a dark blue, or I want to make a blue, or I want to keep the blue, but I don't want to keep the white, you can
Mm-hmm.
just over dye.
Oh,
You can
okay.
completely over dye.
All right. Michelle asked, how do you dry the yarn and how long does the process take?
You can just hang it outside. You can put it on a cloth rack outside, or
Mhm.
but like during the wintertime, that was not a possibility. I have two pins or nails in the wall right above the central heating system we got over here,
Mhm.
and I just put the loops that I use to pick the dye out, pick the yarn out of the water. I just add a little extra loop in there, and maybe I can show you one
Oh
that
yeah.
is more visible. Like I put an extra
Yeah.
string just around it so they can hang it up. And that is what I hang them up close. You guys call that actually?
Say
Not
it again.
sure. You put your coat on one, like a clothes
Hanger.
hanger.
Yeah,
Hanger.
hanger. Yes.
Okay, then it's the same over here.
Oh, for people who are just joining me, even though she has an American accent, she's
I'm not.
she is not.
No,
Tell them where you're from.
I'm from a little town in the middle of freaking nowhere. Heilloon City. No, it's Hoogloon in Noord-Brabant, the Netherlands.
Yeah, see. So when she told me, she told
Nobody has a clue what I just said and how I pronounced it. They're like, huh?
they are. They're probably like,
Well, let's put it this way. Holland is about the size of a pinprick on a globe.
uh-huh.
So it's like this big, that big. It has 70 million people here. And we live in a rural area. Like I said, it's we're this close to the navigational system. You've left the digital zone. Turn around. I think that happens like as soon as you pass our village. Then you've left the digitized zone and you need to turn around.
See, it's a small world. Look, did you ever imagine you talk to somebody in a little town in America where there's nobody? I can hear
I
the
I have been talking to a lot of Americans over the past few years, so I'm quite used to that. But in the beginning, I was like, "Oh, okay. I have friends in like the other side of the world, and that's so weird. At times, it's still weird. Like
it's
I have a baby sister, or she is now my baby sister, but she's not biologically my baby sister
yeah,
in California. So
man.
that's still and she was here last summer, so
Okay.
and now the entire world has changed. So I'm
Yeah.
like just last year we were out and about and everywhere, and now it's like nothing.
We got a quick question. You kind of went over this already, but she might not be here. Whispering Stitcher says, would cotton be the best to dye?
Um, Out of the two, it would be no. Acrylic would be the best to dye if you use acid dyes, so or a form of acid dye.
Okay. See if we have any more. Hook crochet. I love Dutch people.
Okay.
You come to the right place today then.
Yeah, yeah, in a house full of them.
Oh, and Gigi, the crochet queen, says, I'll be ordering that beautiful yellow. Yay. There we go. Up,
I
we can
think
bring
he
it up
was
close.
talking about
Probably that
this
yellow
one.
we were looking at. Yeah. That pretty color right there.
That's the thick silk. And that
Beautiful.
is like, look, that is so squishy. It's like squish.
See, what's it called? ASMR when people like touch stuff on camera. Thank you.
I think so, and I think that was a jackpot.
See, now you get the experience too. Thank you so much. Left is right crochet with Sandy. Thank you for sharing Bob Whisper
Hi,
with us.
Sandy.
I love you both. Everybody.
Oh, she
Okay,
is such a sweetheart.
he
I
is
love her.
heart attack.
And there's so many of those in there. And I'm like, I love you, and I love you, and I love you. Aw.
You can read it. What are you reading?
Sharing Barb. Aw.
Where we at? Whisper Stitcher says, thanks for all the advice. It's much appreciated. Do you have any in your shop that's not wool?
No, unfortunately, I do not dye acrylic, or I do not dye cotton because I don't want to work with the acid dyes. So I'm sorry, but no.
Oh, let's see. What else is going on in here that I missed? Ashley C. When doing multiple colors, what prevents them from spreading?
Um, it also helps that like the yarn that I dyed for you, um, that has like the blue. I had the blue and then the purple and the pink, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just slowly pour. Like take my time and wait until that like the blue has settled a bit before I did the pink. Take my time. Just don't rush yourself.
Here we
You
go.
didn't. A lot of people tend to rush,
Yeah.
like, and you should not do that. Just take your time. Let it, let it soak up the color. And then I had like the band. I could easily just like keep myself from going too far in,
Uh-huh.
and then that's how you do it, like slowly. Just take, and with the sauce bottle, like I have one here, like this. I just it has like a small, like a slim tout where you get the dye out, so
Mm-hmm.
you can just take your time, just go slowly, just go over back and forth, and just make sure that you don't. This one is really slim,
Yeah.
and then you'll just be able to uh, make sure that it doesn't go further than you want it to go.
All right.
And also, what helps is do not have too much water in the pan already, because if the water is above the wool already,
Uh-huh.
as soon as you put coloring on it, the first thing it does is spread.
Oh, yeah.
So
See,
you need to have like low. That's the if you want to try it, look up videos for low immersion dyeing.
okay.
That is having like a little bit of water in the pan. Then the yarn will stick out a little bit, and just then you put the dye over it, and then it will be able to spread out because it doesn't hit water right away. It hits the yarn first.
Yeah. Here we go. Let's see what else is hint. Dieta says, everyone has a craft. This is so informative.
Oh,
Let's
thank you.
see.
I'm
Okay.
gonna ask my kid actually to send.
Ask your kid what? What I miss? Okay. Anybody else?
I asked. That's what I asked.
And then there was light.
And then there was light, and then all of a sudden there's color.
Okay. Anybody else? If you have any questions, we'll be wrapping this up soon. But I want to ask you, how are you handling homeschooling? How are you handling all this
Actually,
right now?
really good.
Amazing.
Our Sven has been amazing at home. He was actually held behind at school,
Hmm.
and right now he is like on par with his grade level that he's supposed to be, and not running 4 classes behind.
That's awesome. Amazing.
So yeah, he did some really really big work, and he's also nearly entirely trilingual. And he's in the last class of the grade school, so that's your guys' eighth grade,
For what?
12, 13 years old.
12, that's
The 12,
our middle school. That's what we would call it. Yes.
yeah, that's he that's basically our grade school
Hmm.
stops at the age of 12 to 13, and then they go to high school right away.
Hmm.
Um, our schooling system is so different. But so next year he'll start high school next year. So but he's already in, like, right now he's nearly completely trilingual, German, English, and Dutch.
Man, that's well, my kid right now, I think he dropped out of the third grade at least twice yesterday. So
No, he's been working really hard. They did do something really cool. All the kids, all the schools were given free access to websites with, practicing with tasks. They can set the kids weekly tasks, like you have to do this for the entire week.
mhm.
And as soon as they started doing that, Sven had 16 tasks to complete for the entire week on the computer, and like two on that you need to print out, that you needed to read, like understand what you're reading, and
Yeah.
answer questions about that.
Oh,
Yeah,
smart kid.
yeah, he it would have been doing way better if he had been homeschooling the entire time. So the regular schooling is not his thing.
Yeah. Oh, we have a quick question. Here we go. This is from Creatively Tracy. Do you put the vinegar in the dyeing cooking, or when it's off the stove? So when does the dye go into the yarn? Before cooking or after?
It doesn't cook. That it doesn't boil. Heats up. It simmers, but below cooking, because otherwise the wool will felt, and then
Mm.
you can just toss it out because it will be completely ruined. Uh, yeah, I have not had that yet. So, like, if it's a little simmery and you can hear like little bubbles starting, then you turn the heat off. Or what in my case, the gigantic pot of the pan that I got, turn the pan around. The other side is not as hot. The dye in the pot and dip dye.
Hmm.
You can do kettle dyeing, again, water and the dye that you made in the pot, and then basically the entire yarn goes in straight away, and to get as even as possible a color on the yarn. And the other versions are that you do low immersion dyeing, and you do regular immersion dyeing.
Okay.
And those you can do either with the yarn in the pen and then add the color to it, or start with the base color by putting in. That's actually how this yellow one is dyed. I put the yellow. Okay, that's more correct color.
Yeah.
I put the yellow, like light yellow, or like not as strong a yellow amount of yellow in the dye pot that I made. That I set like the 2 cups of water, put food coloring in there, two to three tablespoons of vinegar. That's it for the one dye, no more. And in the pot, like exactly like put the yarn in there. That you see, like, okay, this is covered but not like completely immersed into the water. Like there's not water on over top of it.
Yeah.
And then that's when I added the yellow food coloring powder. So I had the yellow dye in the water, put my squished it down so that the yellow goes everywhere.
Yeah.
And then I added the yellow powder. That's why you have like darker yellow, brighter yellow, softer yellow.
Like
That's how you got that.
Aisha Flores says, when you dye these yarns, will it fade after a while when being used or washed?
No, the color is set, but every yarn you see on there, this is really really bright
Mm.
in reality. It's like darker colors and everything in there. Same with. Oh, I should grab one of these. This one is brighter. this is pretty bright in reality. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what it looks like over there, but it's a orange and red, light orange, like peachy orange and red, and that has been in my windowsill.
Hmm.
And we had like 6 weeks of sunshine.
And
This
has it
is the
faded?
brother. This is the brother Hank that I made at the same time. That did not go into the same colors. No change.
Still just as bright.
Yeah, and it doesn't fade with washing because before anybody receives it, I've washed it 3 times with wool wash.
Mm-hmm.
I have wool washing detergent, so that's what it gets washed with. Because you don't want to have wool that smells like ass.
No.
I don't want to have that vinegar smell. So no, I just wash it 3 times. So and as soon as you see that the water is clear, that means that the color has been set into the yarn. You'll wash it out, like you rinse out the vinegar, and then you start washing. It won't bleach any color. It won't, like, yeah, the water will stay clear. It won't go any red. It won't go any color anymore.
Okay. Well,
It really sets the yarn, so that the heat and the vinegar set the yarn.
all right. Here we go. One more comment. It's not a comment. It's just say, Dieta, everyone don't forget Nurses Week starts May 5th. Nurses Day is May 6th. So
Yeah.
everybody remember the nurses. And I'm not going to keep this broadcast really live, but I just want to thank you so much, Barbara, for joining us. And everybody, make sure you click the link down in the description box below. You've taught me so much. I hope we keep chit-chatting because
Oh, for sure.
you are an absolute hoot. And I hope you don't mind if I do this little plug real quick. I'm going to whisper. All right, guys. On May, May, I should know this. May 27th is my son's birthday. Since we usually have a birthday party for him every single year, and we can't do it this year because we know of the Rona. I can't say the word or my channel get demonetized. Would you guys be able to send my son a birthday card? It doesn't have to have anything in it, just a birthday card. I left the link down in the description, not the link, but the address down below of exactly where to mail it. He would appreciate it so much. He's a sweet little boy. He's going to be the big 9. Last time he's going to be single digit. He's still my baby. So, like I said, if you guys wouldn't mind, send him a little birthday card to say hi. All right, let's see what else is going down in a comment box, and then we'll get out of here. Okay, let's see what they're saying, Barbara. All right. Awesome. I love Barb. That's from Nikki's Crochet Nook. And Alda says, good evening to all. Thank you so much for bringing on Whisper. She is an inspiration. All right. You are. Thank you, Barbara, so much. So I am going to end this broadcast. Tell everybody bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. See you guys. Okay, Barbara, you can stay on. Here we go.